All right, everybody, welcome to Tales from Flipside Monday night. This is episode 250.
Like 253.
I get lost. We're over 250. I can look real quick. We are at 252. Yes. So uh, as the title suggests, me and Mr. Mercenaut went to Cleveland. I got a little backstory on that. So we got that. Chris got the news. I did some of the market report. We all kind of chipped on this one. No John Z tonight. No leg tonight. He's still celebrating the Raiders' crazy win. But we're got a show to do, so let's get into it. Let's go. All right, here we go. I just doing it up. Let's go. Okay. I'm just gonna go kind of retarded. Let's go. Look at everybody. Everybody's giving us thumbs up. I like it. So in news, DC confirms Superman 78, Batman 89 exist in the same universe. So
Yeah, so I stumbled across this from watching like a TikToker who was poking fun at basically he did this thing where it was like James Gunn's day 1, day 2, and day 3 on the job.
yes,
And the day 3 was basically being like, oh, and we just made it that Superman and Batman 89 exist in the same universe. And he goes on this little like continuity diatribe of like how that didn't make any sense. You didn't need to do that. And you just complicated matters even more by like doing that because elements of Batman 89 still may in the future present themselves in live action. So, and this is really a DC, and I stopped and thought about it, like this is really exclusively a DC issue because Marvel doesn't, other than maybe patching some holes in between two movies, like what happened between like Avengers films or what happened between Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, they don't typically write comics in that universe of the films. You may have a quick cameo, like in the original Spider-Verse. There was a cameo of, well, you didn't even see them. They were referenced to, hey, isn't that the guy from Seabiscuit? And isn't that the guy from whatever? Like they do stuff like that. But you don't, other than the Gamerverse, you don't get them doing full-fledged, dives into these like extra multiversal, other Marvel universes. Unfortunately, because they're doing Dark Crisis right now, and the Batman 89 universe exists in comics, and they actively are telling sort of kind of a story. They feel this need to patch shit together, and it creates more issues for everybody involved going forward in the future. Because now that you've created that issue in continuity, now you have to explain why Superman didn't show up during the events of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever when you definitely should have been there, and why Batman didn't show up involving any of the events that took place in Superman 1 through 3. So
interesting.
And Superman 4.
Yeah, and Superman 4 with Nuclear Man. So like it's like you were nowhere to be found when that dude was doing this thing. So or when Zod and them showed up on the Earth. It's like it creates unnecessary issues that they just didn't need to do.
Yeah.
And this happened after James Gunn had already had his job. This was 6 days ago. So
yeah, great.
So what about Linda Carter's Wonder Woman?
I think they have no sense to leave that the hell alone.
Man, if they're gonna leave that alone, then leave everything else alone.
You would think.
We got next on the list. We got so Donald Glover's the star of the new Spider-Man movie based on villain Hypno Hustler.
Man, they lying. That's a lie.
No,
that's a April Fool's post.
No.
It's gotta be.
Nope, this is absolutely probably going to happen because, I mean, what else has Sony got in their bag? Like, they can only do so much live-action touching of Spider-Man. So, what do you do instead? You start going to the well of all this other bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you said, they got to milk Spider-Man until it goes over, right? I mean, they just milk it, just everything. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, good for that spectacular Spider-Man book. Like, good for the 7 people who had that in their collection. So,
or the ones who were fast enough to get to an LCS and pull it out the baggage bin.
Yeah, right. For what, $1?
Yeah. 50 Cent,
cool.
dude. Let's be real.
Yeah, 50 Cent. Hey, they're giving the real speculators a chance. So you posted this, right?
Yeah, so this is one of the ones that somebody put me on today. Is again, it to be a speculator in the day and age of James Gunn just confirming shit. At this point, it's like you don't need to speculate. Give it about 2 hours, and James Gunn's gonna tell you what the fuck like is the reality of the situation. So again, like he's claiming that we're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. It's like, I mean, as long as movies don't have connection to any of these existing characters, and you can probably get away with keeping Blue Beetle around. You can probably get away with. Yeah, that really is about it. It was Blue Beetle at this point because everybody else has some ties to the existing pantheon of heroes in DC. So Blue Beetle survives. Hey, there you go.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is like we were kind of talking earlier about other things, but with James Gunn, I mean, maybe this is what it needs. Maybe I know we say this every 5 years. This is what's going to turn the thing. So hopefully,
I mean, it is what I mean, and I'll go more into it, but it is what needed to happen. I mean, but yeah, I'll save that for more of the Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill talk. But honestly, I do believe this is what really needed to happen over at DC for us to get back on a path where people actually A, want to see the movies, and B, we can sell some goddamn books.
Correct. This is Elizabeth Olsen. So Disney submitted her as best actress category for Multiverse of Madness. So,
which, I mean, don't get me wrong, she was decent, but I honestly am surprised that we haven't got any news about Angela Bassett being submitted for best supporting actress.
Correct.
That was a performance that stands on its own. You could put that in any movie, and that was Oscar caliber performance.
Yeah. I mean, there's still time, right? Is there still time? I think there's still time.
I think so. I think we're coming down to the wire, though.
I did this one. The Rock has unfollowed the Black Adam and Warner Brothers Discovery Instagram accounts. There was a rumor. I guess I don't think it's validated, but from what I've heard, I'm going to say very likely that The Rock inflated the numbers for releases and how much money it made and stuff like that. And now it's a big problem. So,
I mean, there's been whispers and murmurs that part of his real disappointment in everything that's going on right now is that he wanted that job that ultimately Gunn got.
Yeah.
What does he know about comics?
I mean, what does he know about actually making successful property? Let's be real about it.
I mean, it's a money thing, right? So it's like he gets his production company. His production company grows bigger, right? Theoretically from this, and he can flip it and do whatever, just become a.
I mean, so this goes back to a point that I think you mentioned and then Leg mentioned back when all the talk of The Rock and everything first, kind of came out. Is let's be real about it. I'm looking at the productions of things that have been made by $7 Production. So that's the Rock production company. Yeah. And at this point, Jumanji, apparently Shazam was somehow connected to his production company. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, so we got the Jumanji movies. Shazam, I guess they can claim that, and Shazam Fury of the Gods, and then a couple for realistically a bunch of Netflix type shit, and a bunch of stuff that's heavily TBA for years, including a fucking Scorpion King reboot. Nothing against The Rock, he's a great marketer, but none of these things have been successful, and so putting him in charge of the direction of the DCU, I think, would have been a horrible idea.
It's almost as bad as, let's be honest, it's almost as bad as if Michael Jackson bought Marvel Comics, right? It's I mean, it's a guy who's a fan, which is great, Sometimes you need fandom, but when you're having controlling a property, I mean, that's a whole different bag of worms. I mean,
you're absolutely right. I think The Rock is just I just don't think that he is prepared for what it would have taken to be in that position and being behind the desk like he needed to be to guide the direction of this.
He bought the XFL. What have we heard about that?
Also, true story. So
he's bought all these things and we don't hear about it. I mean, maybe he's doing things. That's cool. Whatever. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, is it a one-off? I mean, it's not like DC didn't get their money's worth theoretically. I mean, they're losing money, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse, I guess. Isa Gonzalez, top choice for Sue Storm, according to our friend My Time to Shine. Hello.
I mean, this is going to really piss off people. I mean, if the initial casting of Jessica Alba pissed off people, this is really going to piss off people.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out if that's really true.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, it's in the same vein as what Marvel normally does. I mean, her acting career started in 2008. She's been in maybe 20 things at this point. She first got on my radar with the From Dusk Till Dawn, the series.
Mm-hmm. We ain't seeing no pictures.
Oh, okay, I got you. Hold on.
We got to do a Google search.
But yeah, she was like very shortly in Elite About an Angel. Her character dies. She apparently was in Hobbs and Shaw. She's in Bloodshot, Godzilla versus Kong. That ambulance thing that came out on Netflix like a couple months back. So,
hold on.
And she's been in like a small smidgening of things. Oh, Baby Driver. She was, John Hamm's love interest.
Let's remove some of this stuff. Okay.
Oh, smash.
So I mean, like what I've seen her in, I've liked her in.
And Diego Luna is Reed. It's weird.
Have not heard about the Diego Luna as Reed, but I mean, aren't they already using Diego Luna in Andor?
I believe
so. I mean, I feel like they probably aren't going to double dip like that. Like, I mean, only when they absolutely have to do they seem to be willing to do the double dipping like that.
Yeah. The biggest news of the weekend, I guess, is we'll start with this. So Henry Cavill will not return to The Witcher, despite he was Superman for about 3 hours, and they kicked him in the curve. And then they said, "Well, that's great because he left The Witcher, right, to be Superman.
Yeah,
now he can come back to The Witcher," and that's not going to happen. No.
Yep. Oh, there's also another one that's floating around right now, but I didn't want to throw it out there because it's from Direct, and I don't like to use unconfirmed sources like that. But apparently, he fired his either manager or agent shortly before the announcement of him not returning as Superman hit, Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, if I was him, I'd be like ripping that dude a new and being like, "How did you let me make that announcement without getting it in writing?" It's like, "Oh man, but it was a done deal. We shook on it. It was a done deal." I was like, whose hand did you shake? Because the guy who just got hired to be the boss said that the deal wasn't done. So I would be very upset and definitely would have fired a motherfucker.
And the thing that kills me is like they made the Witcher move, right? Because they had to, obviously, because he was gone. But there's got to be other things going on with the Witcher for him not to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah. So it's probably like it sounds like he was not happy with the direction they were taking. He is very much so a purist when it comes to like these geekdom fandom like source materials. He does not like deviating too much from formula, and they were definitely like, I mean, I haven't read the Witcher novels and things like that, but from friends of mine who have, basically they used up everything they had after like that was even worth paying attention to after these first 2 seasons.
Correct.
So like they had to completely like just come do something new, because they just had burned through all the source material that was worth paying attention to. Apparently the later books are not great at all. But he still was like, "Nah, we need to stick to the source material." So
and then later in the day, 1 minute later, here comes Warhammer 40,000. So
which I mean, like he's an ambassador for the fucking brand at this point. Like, in his off time, he's like shaking hands and kissing babies in local Warhammer, like, stores and things like that. So
what does that 40,000 mean?
I honestly don't know. Like, I think I looked it up one time.
I'd be seeing that. I'd be like, that seems like a random number.
Come on, chat. Chat can help us out. Look at comic people are really sleeping on Warhammer 40K books. get Warhammer Monthly and Marvel Run while you can. Nice. Yeah, nobody knows what the Warhammer means. Oh, it's a date? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I definitely didn't notice any at the liquidation sale.
The liquidation sale we're going to talk about in a few minutes. It'll be great. Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity, for synergy, selling a bunch of new figures, new story exclusives, whatever. I mean, if that's your bag. So
no, Year of the Universe, I believe. Interesting. Okay. So that's cool. I mean, I left these kind of small because I couldn't see them, but it's okay. Don't worry. So this one says, I know people can't read it. Wonder Man Simon Williams is starring in the show within the show, and they are currently casting his female co-star in the show within the show. The show will have 10 episodes, 30 minutes each, but looks like described as satire in Hollywood. So
yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. Just thought we'd throw that out there just to keep some life around Wonder Man. So.
Yeah, and then this one is not so news, but I hear Gal Gadot's done, and there will be a Wonder Woman reboot. So
yeah, so I mean, all signs of things that are coming like points towards that, and there were some people, including like Rick, who's not here to defend himself,
where's Rick?
Seemingly disappointed in the the talk of recasting and things like that, but. I sat down and started going through like Henry Cavill's filmography, going through Gal Gadot's filmography, and let's be real about it. Like, ain't a whole lot there. Like, nobody knew who the hell Henry Cavill was before he became Superman. Like, maybe if you watch The Tudors, cool, but like he had very small roles in a bunch of stuff that nobody really watched.
Nobody was even paying attention to this guy. Like. Females were, but like I'm saying, if you walk past Henry Cavill in the streets in an early day, like it'd be like, oh, who's this dude?
Yeah, and I mean, Gal Gadot had like before they cast her in Wonder Woman, like she had been like, that character in the Fast and Furious franchise that they had just killed off. And the thing is that like, I don't find her to be that great of an actress, and I don't think that she was ever the right casting for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to like marginalize her that much, but you're not necessarily 100% wrong on that one.
Well, the problem is she's not a. I won't marginalize her, but I'll say she's not a leading lady. She's a secondary, like Fast and Furious, right? She's in the background, kind of like she's an additional storyline that moved the story forward. Not like she's the main focus.
I mean, spoiler alert on Definite Knowledge, she dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I used the example of like, because I went back and rewatched Knives Out recently, and I used Ana de Armas as an example of somebody who has that same type of vibe, but can act and like has overcome like her accent. Because Ana de Armas could not actually speak English. Like she learned her lines phonetically in the movies War Dog and Knock Knock that she did with Keanu. Like she couldn't speak English, like when she made those movies. By the time you get to Knives Out, she has completely done away with her accent and is playing a character who is speaking, has nuance, has like emotion, has range. And they still had to make Themyscira like this random island that nobody shares her accent. She still hasn't made an attempt to like work through that, and that does kind of muck up things when it comes to like the character portrayal and her ability as an actress. It's like it doesn't seem like you're really that dedicated if you're not willing to put the work in to get rid of the accent when all the other people around you who aren't American have gotten rid of their accent for the sake of the character.
Yeah,
it just never felt like she was. I mean, she was probably truly invested and she really cared about the character, but she just never felt like the right fit for it. So maybe we'll get something that's more akin to what makes sense. Because I think a lot of people, I think somebody was recently saying that their idea of what would have been the proper casting was Homegirl who played Lady Sif. Like that was more of the type of person that they had in mind when it came to the portrayal. So maybe we can get back to something more in that vein. Who knows?
Interesting. Carter, you want to talk about it at pickups, I guess, or you want to talk about it right now? Her little I guess the pickups.
Are we doing market report?
Yeah, we'll do the market report, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about it. It's a hodgepodge. I really didn't get a good chance at this. I just we all threw up some books. So here we go. That's all I'm going to say. ASM 300 CGC 90 is signed by Todd McFarlane for a paltry $800.
Yeah. And I will say that that's definitely lower than the last one that sold. So the reason why there's going to be like 3 of these books that are like McFarlane signed books for the sake of having the conversation around like the McFarlane signing. Yep. And a lot of people, on, the forums and the groups, more so like the Facebook folks and stuff like that, really swear up and down that, oh man, the market's flooded. I'll be there to buy these when they sell for absolutely nothing. That doesn't seem to really have been the case. So case in point, this book's book, like in a 9.0, blue label, is a roughly I think it was like the last copy sold for $6 something or whatever. Yeah. So in this scenario, this person basically, picked up the adding of the McFarlane signature really didn't do much for them in this scenario, but it helped a little bit. Okay. I think the ones to follow, if they're all the ASM as well.
Yep. This one.
So this is a prime example of this took a trash book and actually made it into something that somebody wanted, because this book is a $72 book in a 9.0 otherwise, and that is more than the $120 on top of it in profit. And that's if so. Let's say they had this book raw already. They didn't buy it at $72. Let's say they had it in the back issue bin for like $5 and you picked it up, and then you slap a $120 signature on there. You just turned a profit. And a reasonable profit, and a book sold faster than they would have if you had kept it as a blue label 9.0.
Now, would you put the signature at the bottom of the book in the white there?
I mean,
in like red maybe or something. I just I was like, man, that's a big space. So.
I mean, there's definitely preferred like location, but I have trusted in so I submitted 12 books and I did full window bag because I was like, I'm gonna let Todd do what he does.
Yeah.
And he's not hopefully going to lead me astray.
Yeah.
I think that still looks overall solid for the placement. The white, I think, would look too like jammed in. But also, if they use one of those CGC yellow, like you're basically not getting almost any access to any of that white because it has a huge border on it and a C bin that comes around under maybe slightly would have been exposed the underside of the green circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might have just been screwed there. But this is a prime example though of where, like I was saying back a couple weeks ago or maybe a couple months ago, slap a signature on a trash book and you might be able to turn a profit.
Yeah.
Is that worth all the hassle for
a $50 profit?
It to come back? Yeah, for it to come back a 9.0, you had to wait in line, you had to pay.
No, you didn't wait in line for shit. You sent that off to the Todd McFarlane signing.
Oh shit! How much was it? Does anybody remember how much the
$120 for a signature and grading?
Oh god, that's no thank you.
I mean, but they still so somebody throw up that bring that comment back up again.
Yeah.
For a book that you probably in a 9.0 you were never going to be able to get rid of by itself. Like you were not going to be able to sell that book in a 9.0 graded, and nobody would have bought it. Like, anybody who's paying attention wouldn't have bought it raw. Let's be real about it.
Yeah.
Like none of us here. Like you at least found a market for something that you probably spent $20 on, anywhere from $15 to $20 on. You got rid of it, and you turned a little bit of a profit.
Yeah.
I'll take $50 on something like just eating up space in a long box in my fucking, in my office personally.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's see what else. I got this next one, Spider Growth.
So again, another scenario. I can't see the price on it though because we have to ban.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So $350. Again, these are like what $10, $20 books.
Yeah.
$120 signature on there. These books normally in 9.8. I didn't get a chance to look it up, but in 9.8, this book is rough. It's like I think maybe $100 book.
Yeah.
So you did damn sure better than you would have in having this book as just a blue label 9.8. By paying the extra $120. So let's say it's a $100 book. You had 120 on there. Let's say you shipped out a decent bit of them. So your breakdown on shipping for the box might have been like an extra like $8 on top of it. So you're at what? That's $228 into the book at this point to make.
You're clearing $100, call it right, with fees and
to have done dick all. Like let's be real about it. Like you sent it off, you forgot about it, and then the book showed up to your house.
Yeah.
So again, like it's. people are making these comments about, oh, the market's flooded or whatever. Like half the books have already been that were submitted have been graded and have now made it back to where they're going to make it. And there are a decent bit of them on eBay, but they're still selling. I can personally attest to the fact I sold a 9.6 for $275. I had $2.50 into the book raw and $120 into the grading cost. And I cleared an extra $150 on a book that I would have been able to sell for $90. So a silver edition in a 9.8 was a $90 goddamn dollar book. And I was able to sell it as a 9.6 for $275.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there is something to be said, and the naysayers, they're going to do what they're going to do. But also, don't forget the fact that, like, if you were international, you probably didn't get a chance to submit to this signing. Todd don't travel and do CDC witness signings internationally. Like, he don't do CDC witness shit at all, really. Only time he ever does is he signings at CDC. So if you were international, you had to find somebody that you could proxy through, maybe get the book shipped out through the UK office, and might have been able to get them into the signing. But the American market is not the only market when it comes to people wanting these books.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind also.
And the thing too is, like, so this is a economies of scale, right? So like you said, if you take 10 books, you got at $2, and say, or whatever the price is, $120, you sell it for like this, $350, you clearing $100 like we talked about it. Well, if you have 10 books, that's $1,000 right there, right? If you got them all in the same grade, roughly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, economies of scale, right? You took $20 to make $1,000, or whatever, at the end of the day, what's 10 times 125, at the end of the day, but you're clearing $1,000 in profit, 1,000 into 2,000. So.
Yeah. I mean, again, I sent off 12 books. I think I had one book come back that was like, a surprising 9.4, and I watched another 9.4 in the same book, still also cleared over $200. So still gonna be fine whenever that. Unfortunately, like 4 of the books in my damn box had cracks in them. So 3 of them went back to CGC. One I sold locally and was like, I'll knock $25 off. Even though at this point you can send it right back to CGC, they'll hold it for free because it's within a 2-week period. But I mean, there's still money to be made in at least McFarlane's signature. Now, a couple more of these signings, it starts to turn into Jim Lee type scenario where like there's
Campbell,
where every single copy signed is a different story. But Todd still has. I mean, for Christ's sakes, man, they're on the forums calling the man like the Todd Father. Let's be real about it. Like, he's got a cult level following that still moves books.
And he did a bunch of different signatures, right? So he did like Todd McFarlane, T. McFarlane, right? So it's like
So I mean, case in point, like we have a T. McFarlane scenario here in a 9.8. We have a 9.6 of the full-on Todd McFarlane.
No, could you write that in, or was this him just doing his thing?
He just did his thing.
Okay.
And then we have on these guys, because I think it's a matter of if he had the space, you probably got a full signature.
Okay.
So we got Todd McFarlane on that guy and Todd McFarlane on that guy. So again, it really was a luck of the draw, the different signatures, the request for the yellow. I wished I had been smart and put on mine like that one person did, being like, oh, can you do the signature this way? Because they basically were able to squeeze out a free remark out of their shit for that purpose. Yeah. But just wanted to make that point, though, because...
Interesting. I've able to make every $50 and every book sold, got to grind it out. Yeah, I mean, come on. We talk about the big wins, but that doesn't move you forward, man. It's the small wins that move you forward, right? So it's
I mean, think about homeboy who used to have, or if he still does, had that one. What was the name of it? It was like Hero something or other, or comics, like whatever. They're all Hero or comic, but it was the guy who was basically every single week the new hot book was guaranteeing that he was sending off books and you could buy them immediately as 9.8s.
Oh yeah, Slabbed Heroes.
Yeah, Slabbed Heroes.
Yeah,
dude wasn't probably making no more than $50 a book, but like when you got $2.99 into a book and you basically are grading it at at the time it was like $18. So you had like $20 something into it. A full box of 25 or 50, you would get to the point where your individual cost on a box of 25 to CGC was like roughly $1.40 or some shit like that back in the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll take $50 across 25 any day of this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna complain about it. I mean, Hell, I mean, what are
Hey.
what are McDonald's margins? They damn
Right.
sure ain't that good. So,
Right, but Bunts get you a home run too sometimes, right?
exactly.
This is what I got next. Just some golden age, a smattering of things. Black Hat Comics 27 Christmas cover, $135, roughly 100 or $145 roughly. So that's cool. I like that. This is all some of the other stuff. I shot this up there, Captain Britain. So Sidebox, $662 for a 9.2. So I was like,
That's interesting.
that is interesting, right? I don't know what it all comes into. So look at this. Look at these guys. Look at that little $20 super chat. Happy Christmas, guys. Thanks for the show. Speaking of Baby Driver, Ansel Elgort would make a great younger new Superman. Love Tokyo Vice. He has the chops and the look.
Yeah, except he is canceled like a motherfucker right now.
Well, that's everybody nowadays.
I mean, true, but like rape allegations are a hard one to beat.
Yes.
Hey,
Pay for $350. This is interesting. So we paid $350 for a Cheadle signature on 282.98 and sold it for $2K. So
hey, so there
it works out.
There you go.
A little let me move the comment here. A little chromium action. 9.8, $1,100. So that's kind of what we've been seeing, right? I think we're like at 900,000. I think so. I saw that. I didn't really go too crazy. This is another Crime 22, a fine. Again, I didn't really look at the pictures, but 4,700 is a big healthy number. This is interesting too. Just Spider-Verse, right? Coming out. So Spider-Verse 2, 9.8, $975.
Did that just end tonight?
Yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I'm noticing that these are all ending in the upper 900s range.
Correct. And we'll see what happens.
Slightly below 1,000.
Well, so the good thing would be to look and see like what is the lowest posted buy now, because that will almost be like if the lowest posted buy now is like, $1,100, then yeah, that's usually what ends up happening is that's going to be your capping mechanism. So
now I mean this ought to be interesting. Facilities. Turkish. Yeah, I would probably say. What print is this? I'm sorry. 9.6. Yeah, around there.
yeah,
$1,000. 1049.
yep. So that's usually the logic I use. Like case in point with the stuff that I got, these silver editions that are auctioned off. I'm like, okay, the lowest posted McFarlane signature, buy it now is $430. So I was like, so mine should probably finish anywhere from the 350 to 375 mark on auction.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Not one you see a lot, but Knights at the Dinner Table 1. So $429 or $420. So out there if you can find them.
Nice.
I can't believe we didn't find them. Not to me, don't know about that, but that's okay. Just interesting. SS1 signed by Stan Lee and Joe Sinnott. $2,200, 8.5. CBCS too. So I don't have any numbers. I just things that pop out and it's interesting to me. And then this is interesting too. Stranger Things signed comic, not the greatest description. I think it was Millie Bobby, right? Millie Brown was the signer. I can look.
Probably.
Look. And that's cheap. $236. Are you kidding me? I mean, I guess maybe because Stranger Things is kind of, you say sailed, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we're definitely like swan songing
at the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out who sold or who.
Is that the end of that show?
There's one or two more seasons left, and then it's game over.
I'm trying to find 9.8 SS. Let's see. What was this? 278, 236. Yeah, she did it. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Back in September, this was like crazy. Okay. One more season. 8.5 SSs were 4K one time. Down. Okay. Vault of Horror 35, $560. Cool. EC Comics, obviously. And then
Wait. All right, so hold on one second.
Yep.
Let's head back to that Millie Bobby Brown signed book. So yeah, this is very painful because
wasn't it like $200 to get it signed or something?
yeah, it was like $200 to get the damn thing signed. So
Yikes!
yeah, that hurts. Yeah.
Well, that's a gamble, man. That's a gamble. I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they shipped it with a feedback of 8. And last but not least, 8.5 of what? This book, Silver Surfer 1. Just so people are aware.
I mean, you still got the whole like both of those people ain't with us no more. That plays a factor.
And then last but not least, the biggest one. This is Cesar Romero's Joker costume, $87,500. So big boy. I mean, it'd be cool. I wouldn't put it in the house, but cool.
I mean, the person who bought this one, the man behind the red hood, looks to have all the other ones, with the exception of Ledger's and Phoenix and Joaquin Phoenix's suit / outfit. So
yeah, it's dope.
Man. I mean, if that's your thing, man, like you know, everybody's completing their runs. He's got his.
God,
damn!
I can't even imagine what he has in his basement, but or wherever he's got it all stored at. Okay. Now the most exciting time. So me and Carter, we hung out. I went to Cleveland. I drove 3.5 hours.
Was it worth it?
No, it was worth. I mean, it's worth just hanging out with you. If I got nothing, at least I got to spend my precious moments of life just hanging out with you.
No.
No, we had a good time. So I went there. I'm some what do I call it? Some observations is a good word. You guys have a lot of wing stops, and like we talked about, there was like $3 stores in this plaza, man. I don't get it, but it's something. So
3 different dollar stores in one plaza. Absolutely, that's how it works.
Yeah. So I guess you want to go first, Chris, because you don't have that many stuff, right?
I've got like next to nothing. I mean, you guys saw most of the stuff that I still have from the McFarlane signing. Picked up like just some random stuff, trying to hope that DC has like, something left in it. Maybe Victor Sass gets some love again, but I mean, for what I paid for it, I'm not complaining.
Sure.
And here's hoping that Black Science actually pays off to be something. So again, grabbing those. And then the one like valuable book I actually picked up today, traded my McFarlane 9.8 signed of the 30th anniversary gold foil from SDCC. So shout out to Leg for helping me acquire that. Traded that in plus a little bit of cash to get this guy.
Nice.
And honestly, the real reason why I bought it is because, it was priced at a point that really made sense. And it's got a lot of pressable defects on it. I mean, there's some stuff that just ain't going to come out, but like this book wasn't pressed at all. I can look inside the slab and see that. And also, it legitimately, the back of it and the front of it, from like you can see the grime, like it looks like somebody like just like rubbed like eraser shavings onto the Silver Surfer. That classic like blackish like grime that like white comics will collect, like somebody slid it across the desk. It's all over the front and the back of it, so all that shit will clean off in the hands of a good. I mean, there's a penciled 90 written, like ever so slightly written on the back of the book. Like all this stuff will clean off. So I mean, I think it's got at least a half, if not maybe a
point.
Yeah, a full point bump in it. And if that ends up happening, then it was worth the investment. If it stays where it is, it'll just present better, and I'll hold on to it until we have more Surfer news. So that's me.
Right,
Carter. People are seeing the pickups. So look at this. I won't spoil too much, but I mean that's a big one. What do you got? Let's see. You got anything you want to show?
Well, I just did a video yesterday.
Okay. Did you post it?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure. I don't want to steal your thunder.
It's getting a good reception.
I'm sure. Sure it is. So, Yeah, so I guess we can as you're kind of pilfering away. So this guy, it's called a liquidation sale. This guy's getting out of comics. He said, very nice guy. He told me he's just he told us I guess he's tired of just the grind of it, which I get too.
There's too much of me on screen.
Okay, I got you. Little, I got you. The other thing too is it's interesting because Carter's like, hey man, he just sets out a box, and me and Carter kind of went back in the back room. Carter's like trying to like cash out, and I told the guys like, hey man, I drove 3.5 hours. I got him the leverage. I was like, yeah, I drove 3.5 hours, man. You got anything in the back? He's like, oh yeah, dude. And then I'm walking in the back, and I told Carter just to come on back, and we had access to the whole place. It's just kind of dope. So,
it was a good time.
I use my influence, I like to call it in the business world.
You got people skills.
It's easy.
All right.
Can you even find this
I
stuff?
will say. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. I've got a long box, a short box, a magazine box, and and maybe even another short box. That's because stuff is just like piling up, and I'm still trying to make sense of it all. I'm still trying to organize it. I want to try to like get things alphabetized at least.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So at least you know what you have. Yeah.
But because I was there yesterday, I was there today, and it's just like I'm just throwing comics on top of comics on top of comics on top of comics, and I haven't had a chance to really catch my breath and like organize things. So, and I haven't had a lick of sleep, and right now I'm like trying to get over a migraine. It's boring, right? It's like right in there. So I'm just like, I'm going to sleep right after this video.
I got you.
By the way,
we're gonna keep this short then.
But yeah, man. So he had this on Saturday.
So me and Carter on what time to go? Thursday. We're like, man, I can't believe Thursday. He didn't. I can't believe he didn't see BA12s in there, man. And we're like, yeah. And we're like, out of all the books, man, BA12, like he didn't have it. And then all of a sudden, this fucking guy gets one. So.
See?
So the problem too is like it's not the problem, but Chris, I've never seen books where like we flew back in 2011, me and Carter, and we're paying like crazy prices, but it was all pristine books, man, like pristine, like never used. I mean, granted, some of them were kind of beat, but like not like 3.0s, 4.0s, 5.0s. It was like at worst 9.0s, like so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean that's a strong contender right there.
Yeah. So I tell you what, if you want to see what I paid for it, go check out my video.
That's right.
That I did. But yeah. What oh. And this is an interesting book. This is a very interesting book. I don't know how hot Painkiller Jane is.
Oh, I remember this book.
Yeah, but this is her first appearance.
Correct.
And on top of that, this is the limited variant for this.
Yes.
So 22 Brides, #1. I love this book.
Yeah.
There aren't many on eBay right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say it's really selling all like that, but still, it's like the first appearance of some obscure indie character. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. It's a good looking book, and this was in there for 25 cents.
Oh, wow!
So Spidey, $4.31.
Nice.
But I tell you what, we got a lot. We got a lot more, and we'll try to make sense of things as time goes by.
You got videos for days, man. That's all I gotta say.
Oh gosh.
So the bigger thing is. Oh god! So I got something frame finally. Look how badass this thing is. So if I didn't, okay, is it gonna go? Look at that, perfect.
There we go.
Yeah. So I bought this. This is Jim Lee from 2018. I bought this on a website when I usually frequent for like I can't remember, guys. I'm gonna call it $200 maybe back in the day. Yeah. So
that's amazing for $200.
Yeah, I figured, dude. I was like, man, like that's what Jim Lee goes for. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to get my money out of it, man. I bought it way back in the day, like I was just trying to get, I paid 200. I'll just get, I'll sell it for 200. And I was like, he had a Joker one too, but it didn't look that great theoretically. But I passed on that. I think he wanted like 5 for the Joker, but I was like, I'll take the Bat or the Mr. Freeze.
Hell yeah!
So shout out to Michaels for getting it framed for me.
Hey, how much was the frame job?
Okay, so if I paid retail, it would have been like $600. But since if you do it around Christmas time, you get like 80% off, and I paid off like $170 to get it framed.
Oh,
not terrible. Not terrible.
Wow,
not terrible.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. And now let's pick up some books that I grabbed. I bought a $1 box. I bought a comic box that was crappy. Here, I'll do the Carter thing so people can get jealous too. Look at that, one-handed. So I bought Undertaker books. What is he, like $1, dude? Or he's $1, right?
Yeah.
I think there's no price.
No, 25 cents.
Oh, 25 cents.
Yeah.
25 cents. Stone Cold Steve Austin stuff. What else I got here? People are like, these are lame. You bought all this stuff? The other Stone Cold book. So no big deal.
I was this close, but wrestling tapes and wrestling comics, I'm like, no, I can't do it.
I know, you told me, and I'm like, I was like, just throw them in there. I didn't even care. So like, this was like Nash, Kevin Nash of all fucking people.
Turn it around. It's a dynamic forces.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be worth millions of dollars at some point. A little World Championship Wrestling for a quarter. So
no, that was 20 for $1.
Oh, 20 for $1. So yeah, 5 cents.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually pretty clean for a 5-cent copy, obviously.
Lex Luger cover, no less.
Yeah, right. Let's see what else I got in here. So I bought a lot of stuff for the wife. She was very happy with me. Little Nightmare on Elm Street stuff, little foil action. What else I got? I'm just gonna go through these pretty quickly. Friday the 13th action, but hack and slash for Chucky stuff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff, no big deal. Friday the 13th. So basically just all that hack slash. This cool comic. This is the cooler ones that I picked up was the old Snake and the Jason mask kind of thing. So that's kind of sick. Wildstorm stuff. Just loose books. These were like what? Well, those were 20 for $1 too.
Yes.
Yes. I bought a Toy Story stuff for my kid so he can read it. I think it was like $6, half off. Who cares?
I see. I always think those go for money, but I don't think so. Right?
Yeah, and that's all I got. No, I'm joking. I picked these up because they were on $1, so who cares? I didn't know what they were. I just said, hey, it looked like
Midnight Sun's
cool.
ass can. Yeah,
that looks cool for $1. I'll take it. I haven't found too much about this. Chris, you might be able to tell me more about this. So it's a trade of Underworld, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got it for $5, right? But I haven't seen this one. So it's like they had the trade, but it's like got stuff over here and over here. Maybe it's a different printing, maybe.
And that's only press, right? Because I think I just saw that on the spine.
Oh yeah. Nope. IDW.
IDW.
Yeah, IDW. I'm sorry. Yeah, IDW. So, I kind of saw the other ones. I don't know. I'd say for $5. Yeah. So, not terrible. Let's see. What else we got? Look, Green Lantern. This is all Carter. I have no idea. So, this was cheap.
The first Kilowog.
Yeah, for what, $1? I didn't even know what it was. $1. I didn't care.
That's not what you paid for it.
I think so.
Damn.
I mean, honestly, this is a good time to be investing in Green Lantern because, like, apparently, according to Gunn, like, the Green Lantern will matter in his new universe more than it did in any other of the last ones. So
This was $5. Little blade action.
nice.
So right. Little Secret Wars 8.
Can't beat that.
How much you paid for it? Tell them how much you paid.
$30, $30. We're back in 2011, people. Little newsstand actions, $8 a piece.
That we went to. That was
A different store. Yeah,
yeah.
We went to a different store, but still the same. Look at this boy. Little Vengeance of Moon Knight variant from Finch.
Nice.
$40. That's probably I looked online, like a $600 comic, right? Or something like that. I don't know. I was like, I'll just take it. Black Panther Cavill. I got this for like $60. Kung Fu Fighter #1. I got this for like $20.
Oh, Big Dragon.
Yeah. Black Widow. Right.
Nice. The variant that everybody actually wants.
$20. Transformers. $30. What else we got in here? Hold on.
How many copies did you buy of Transformers?
Only 2. This is the other one. I got this for $40. It wasn't. There you go. $40. I mean, you can't just say no, right? Like, look at this. I just sent one to you. I can send another one to you. This is like $40.
Lashley.
Yeah, the Lashley variant. A little Stone. That's a cool Stone Cold preview book. That's kind of cool. I thought this was cool too. Like War as Hell. This was $5. I mean, you can't beat that for $5. It's easy, and it looks not bad for a 70s book. 74, right? This was $25. I mean, it's not the greatest, but I mean, who cares for $25, right? Like,
it's solid.
It's solid. I just said they're in there. A little X Factor 6. This was $20.
Nice.
I just grabbed a Robert Hack book for like $1. So I was like, whatever. I'm starting to get back on the Robert Hack train. This was like $1 or something. This is all the ones you threw away, and I just grabbed the cool ones.
the Charlton horrors.
Yeah. Ghost Stories. I mean, it was like $1. Remember, I was just like, throw it on there. I didn't care. I don't know about these. Wolverine Weapon X variants I got for like $1. Just threw them in there. I was like, whatever, dude.
Those are 4 for $1.
Yeah. A quarter. Okay, whatever. I was like, I don't even know, dude. What else did we pick up? Little Icon. Polybag Collector's Edition.
So that is one thing that I do have a question about is like, where the hell does that shit stand? Because I mean, DC fandom of like, what was it, 2 years ago? Oh man, Icon, we're gonna start doing so with the Milestone imprint again. Yep. Static Shock movie, blah 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 blah. Like, well, now new regime.
Yep.
That's the word.
So that you'll see a little trend. Icon again. Just we picked it up. Carter's like, I don't know. I was just throw it on there. Okay, here's another one for you, Chris. Ant #11.
Jesus.
$100 and something book right now, I think. I don't know why. Got it for a paltry $15.
Probably rare. Probably some characters' first appearance nestled inside of it.
Yeah. Probably like a 20 print run.
Here's another book that used to be hot. Captain America 6 variant edition. So I got that for $25. He had a bunch of those.
It's funny. I hadn't seen one of those variants since it first came out like 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, he had a ton of them.
Yeah,
a ton of them. I was hoping I'd find the one Del Otto one.
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, when he's back up against the wall.
Yeah.
This is a hotter book, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an Invincible guy, but 44. I got this for like $25. I think this is like a $100 book.
Is that the first appearance of that character?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just looked on eBay. I'm like, well, he has it for 60, so it's got to be something.
And she's probably going to be pretty prominent, if not this coming season. With the way they're moving, then probably either this coming season or the season after that is probably where we'll see.
I haven't found one of these either. So this is cover B to number 11, and this was like $20. I don't know.
So Chase Scott Campbell.
Yeah, right. I was like, you can't go wrong with that, right? Stacks getting a little long. Remember this book?
Oh yeah, of course.
So I got this for a paltry $17 or something like that.
So my favorite Wolverine Sabretooth covers.
I saw this was going for decent. I mean, not decent, but I was like, Wolverine's coming back, $10. Why not? You know. Here's another. Look, a newsstand. This was a paltry $10. So
nice.
It's pretty clean for a newsstand. So
I will say most of the ones from that time period. Here, hold on. Most of the ones from that time period are newsstand. I want to say.
Is that okay? Good.
Because let's see. Pull from a stack that got sit beside me. Yeah.
Okay, are they? Okay, perfect.
All the ones from that time period for first Hammer are newsstands.
Yeah. This is a good book. This is really clean, actually. I'm surprised how clean it is. Look at this. Well, Deadpool 1 action.
Solid.
$15. Another X Factor. So I bought a bunch of them. That's $20, right? Easy flips. This is Carter. Carter, what's this about? Spider-Man Unlimited.
So that was I can tell you about that one actually. That is a Wizard, one of those like Wizard send-off books for the Spider-Man Unlimited short-lived sequel to the. I mean, technically, it was a sequel series to the Spider-Man series that came on Fox. Yeah. It only got one season, but yeah, it was like it holds a certain place of nostalgia. You might see that character get like a random in the corner somewhere back shot in like a Spider-Verse movie.
$10. Not a bad gamble. And then the last two aren't too crazy. $282, $5, right?
Little first Bishop action.
Yeah. Right. I can't. I mean, it's clean too. It's like really clean. So not worry about that. And then last but not least, little Digimon number 1 action from Dark.
I don't know why I couldn't bring myself to buy that.
That's okay. I bought it for you. Dynamic Forces, he didn't even look at it, just $10. He's like, some of these are so with some of these I noticed because Carter picked up one, a different one. Some of these are really rare, I know they were printed in the 90s or whatever, but it's like some of these are pretty rare. When was this? I don't even know when this was.
Oh, it's a 90s book.
Yeah, 2000 it says, but yeah, but 90s book, yeah. So I mean, some of these are pretty rare. You just gotta. Here's a good question. Am I selling them raw or slabbing them? What do you think, Chris? Did we just go for the roll and just start slabbing all of them? I don't care.
I mean, you got time. You got time on all of these. So I would honestly do especially with their turnaround times being what they are right now, I would do a pre-screen 9.8 on the ones that really make sense to. Get your order 25 together. Yeah. And blast off a pre-screen order of 9.8. Like, again, as somebody who likes to slab a lot of shit, it is in your best interest to grade things before you need them. Yeah. And like at least 6 months to maybe even a year, if you got the space to store it, 6 months to a year before things are happening.
I got so much space.
You don't want to be the person rushing. Yeah. So I absolutely say if you can, send off a pre-screen 9.8 on the ones that make sense. If you know that you can make profit, even if a book's all the way down to like a 7.5, maybe send that one out, but do another order for stuff like that. But yeah, that's typically how I would approach it. And it's worked out so well for me so far. I mean,
and I figured, I gotta give big ups to Carter because Carter, he invited me. He could have been that guy who you always hear about, right? Just kind of taking it off for himself. But I really appreciate Carter letting me come down and do my thing. I'm trying to come back. I got a week off next week. Maybe I come back now. But you told me he might be all done with all this stuff.
It's tough to say. It's like he, I talked to him today, and he said he might be, he might have like everything out by this week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I can go back down. I'm not worried about it. It only cost me 3.5 hours of my life. It wasn't that bad of a trek, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, it's only to Cleveland. It's not like I'm driving 20 hours or something in the thing. I mean, for me, Chris, some of these books aren't going to be 9.8, but like you said, I mean, Transformers 1 and 9.6 or something. I mean, like, I got it for $40. I mean, 9.8s are gorgeous, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, for books like the Transformer, for any type of Transformer, G.I. Joe, Godzilla, any of those like late 70s through
Black Widow, just send all this stuff, dude. Who cares?
Yeah, the
right?
stuff that like it'll still move based off of how much you have into it. Like
Black Panthers will move. I mean,
yeah, I was selling that book. I was finding them everywhere for a while there, and I was like, whatever, it'll grade out to like an 8.0. Fuck it, send it off to CGC.
Yeah, same right? Spider-Man's they'll grade out. Who cares? Secret Wars, they'll grade out. Who cares?
Yeah, so
this Blade book, it's gonna be going.
No, somebody put the last comment in there being like CGC pre-screen graders or half-ass graders. So I was like, yeah. And again, if you're trying to flip a book, then to the customers out there, make sure that you look thoroughly at the book. I didn't grade this shit. CGC did. Yeah, we got like it is what it is.
You didn't see anything about this?
I mean, it's a relatively common trade paperback for that one. So
I didn't know. I was like Kate Beckinsale on it. I was like,
you never know. She might do another. I mean, her career definitely ain't gone the way she had hoped. So you might be able to catch her on a signing opportunity, and if it's thin enough that you can get into a slab, you might be able to get that graded.
Yeah, I mean, so all in all, I spent what did we say, Carter? Maybe $500 probably. At the end of the day, once I tabbed it all together theoretically, I mean, I'll probably net, I don't know, couple thousand, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, this is a great opportunity to do follow the flip.
Yeah.
I mean, write it down, put it on a spreadsheet, and send it off and see what happens. We always talk about doing that shit, and we just never do it.
What's funny? You gave me that spreadsheet. I'm just gonna put another tab, and I'll just do follow the flip, and who cares, right? Just like all the books I sent you, dude. I think the prices are still on them, dude.
Yeah, some of them quite
often. Some of them, I'm like, whatever, dude. So, so that's all we got. What else? Anybody got to promote anything or talk about anything before we shut this thing down?
I'm doing a Christmas Day toy chest video. So I collected a bunch of throughout. This is like the stuff that I bought throughout the year. All the 80s toys, sealed 80s toys, by the way, from throughout the year. And there's a lot of stuff that I haven't shown yet that I'm saving for the video.
Did that guy have any toys, like sealed toys?
Oh, you know what? I keep meaning to go to the toy store, next to the comic shop, and I keep forgetting. I totally keep because I just space it because I'm just so tired afterwards. But it's mainly kind of like newer stuff, and the 80s stuff that is there is like kind of loose.
Okay.
But and we'll try to keep making sense of the stuff that I bought. I'm going to try to get it organized.
Yeah, I'm going to try to come down. I got to talk to the wife to see if I can come back down because I might hit it next week since they be doing it.
All right.
So, coolio. All right, guys.
I was going to say, I'll throw out there, it's still like 56 days away at this point, but, I've got books in that golden 2023 Winter Comics video games and TCG Elite auction. So definitely, if you're interested in mid-grade X-Men 1 or high grade,
if you make a graphic, if you make a graphic, I'll throw it on the Instagram too for you.
I appreciate it. Go out there, support them. Even if you're just drawing eyes to the auction, it'd be appreciated. So hopefully my shit sells. So.
Nice. All right, guys. We will talk to you guys later. I know we're out of here, but let's do it. So